It's very rare in the world of mixed martial arts that a fighter gets a title shot with only a handful of professional fights. Brock Lesnar got his UFC heavyweight title shot after just 3. GSP got his first shot after 7. He didn't win the title until after 14. And Anderson Silva didn't win the UFC middleweight title until his 23rd fight. Our guest today found the fast track to success in just her 5th pro fight, her first in the bantamweight division, and only her 3rd with Strikeforce. Rowdy Ronda Rousey not only won the title, but did it exactly the way people expected her to. She's a former Olympic judoka, owner of possibly the most dangerous armbar in all of MMA, and now the Strikeforce Women's Bantamweight Champion of the world. Ronda, welcome to the Goat's Morning Breath.
Oh, thank you for having me on. I love that introduction.
I try. I do my best to suck up to all my guests before we start talking.
It's smart.
Okay, let's get into this. You talked a real mean game leading up to your fight against former champ Miesha Tate, basically telling her your game plan for taking her title. Were you at all nervous about a backlash if you'd lost that fight, or did losing ever even enter your mind?
No, I don't really entertain the thought of losing at all. I think that I'm a big believer in manifesting things, so I don't have a plan B. I would rather paint myself into a corner and have no other option but to win, because I feel like the more pressure there is, I fight better, you know? Like, I fight above myself when I feel like there's no other option.
So can we expect you to deliver the same incredibly entertaining level of trash talking for all of your fights?
You know what? I kind of play it more by ear, and I play off the other person. I'm more of a counter trash talker. So, we'll see. I mean, I see this girl's already getting started a little bit on Twitter, but we haven't even had an announcement yet, you know, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've seen a few of the different female MMA fighters, like Marlis Cohen is calling you out on shows, and people on Twitter. Is there any of these sort of loudmouth girls that you would like to fight next if you were given the choice?
If I was given the choice, I think that probably Sarah Kaufman, is the right choice for the next title shot, because, everyone was saying that because she was the last person to beat Miesha Tate, she was the one that, should get the shot, so I would love to give her a reason to stop complaining about that. But also, it hasn't been signed yet, and so all these girls are like, I want to fight Ronda, I want to fight Ronda. I think it's so funny that doing post-fight call-outs has suddenly become fashionable after I did it the first time this past November. Yeah,
you're suddenly the most popular girl on the playground.
Yeah, it is so funny that, like, things that I did that everyone's criticizing me for is now exactly what they're copying.
Now, that armbar that you do is downright nasty. I have to ask, have any of the guys that you train with come to you for, like, armbar tips?
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't they? I think it's because I don't have balls that I can't teach somebody how to do an armbar.
No. I'm just saying I've been watching, MMA, UFC, Strikeforce, all these Pride, all that stuff, and I've never seen any of the guys be that proficient with an armbar. So I'm wondering if you could make a living doing training now with this thing.
I would love to teach and run a gym and do all that stuff after MMA. Even if it wasn't something that I was making my main income from, I think it's just a shame to, let people put so much time and energy and, into teaching you and not pass that on. So, yeah, I definitely would like to. And, yeah, with MMA, it's crazy. Like, the men in MMA are so much more respectful and eager to learn from me than anyone in judo ever was.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Judo is a very chauvinistic sport.
Now, speaking of kind of chauvinistic, Dana White has said on many occasions he doesn't see women's MMA having a place in the UFC, which by my guess means he doesn't watch enough women's MMA, but that's a different argument for a different time. Do you think the ladies will be fighting in the octagon before your time in MMA is done?
Yeah, I definitely do. And, Dana's not as bad as everyone's trying to put him out to be. I think it's funny. Like, I think it was like a year or so ago, before my first pro fight, I said in some interview, I was like, just you watch. I'm going to make Dana White love me, and there's not a goddamn thing he can do about it. And about a year later, he's gone from saying that all women fighters are bad to, this one fight between Miesha, and Ronda is really interesting, but I don't know about the whole division. It's a slow process to, convince people to invest millions of dollars in something, So, if they were to take up women's MMA, it'd be a huge financial investment for them, and they want to make sure it's, it's safe and it's going to be successful. And I'm doing everything that I can to, make it look like that. But I think the only thing that needs to happen is there needs to be more girls. There needs to be more time to have more high-quality fighters. And, I'm already seeing, like, Olympic medalist wrestlers like Sarah McMahon and this Randy Miller girl who, this Randy Miller, she just fought in the past Invicta card, that all-girls card, and I think Sarah McMahon's going to be in the next one. So it's a lot of really encouraging signs that, women's MMA has been stable enough to start actually attracting more, elite athletes.
Ronda Rousey, Strikeforce, bantamweight women's champion, joining us here on the Goats Morning Breath. Ronda, did I see a video on the internet of you making UFC on Fox 3 predictions while shooting handguns?
No, there was only like one handgun. There's a couple of semi-automatics, and then I had a full automatic, machine gun too at the end. I think the only handgun I had it was like a Glock 27 was the first one for Pat Barry, and then there was like a Dirty Harry for Josh Koscheck. That was handheld, but most of them took two hands, like AK-47 and like an AR-15, and like we had a saw. Oh God, we had so many cool guns. You gotta watch it.
Now, how did that come about? How do you go from making predictions to shooting guns while doing it?
Well, my dad taught me how to shoot a gun when I was 6 years old.
Really?
I know how to shoot. He got every single award you can get in the Army for sharpshooting. Like I remember we had like those. We had one of those machines that flicked out the discs, like the other game in Duck Hunt that nobody played.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to go out and do that. I didn't do it. I wasn't allowed to shoot it. I was too young. But no, it was just like, all right, I fight. I love shooting guns. And Middle Easy has this thing with the gun store where they're like, hey, we'll have a fighter relate, to make predictions for cards. They'll relate a gun to the fighter they pick to shoot the gun. They explain why they related that fighter to the gun and why they think they're going to win. So it was just kind of like a cool thing. It's brand new. I think that was only the third episode, but it's such a cool thing. But I was covered in gunpowder for days after that, and it's really not good for your nails.
Ronda, can I just say you might be the scariest yet coolest girl that I know?
Oh, thank you. I think that's a compliment.
It absolutely is, because I am not nearly brave enough to say anything mean about you.
Oh, well, not a lot of people are, except for on the internet.
Ronda, thanks a lot for taking the time today. Best of luck to you in your upcoming fights, whenever they happen, hopefully soon. If they're half as entertaining as your last fight with Misha, we should be seeing a lot more of you anytime soon. One last thing, though. If I ever need backup or maybe a bodyguard, can I call you?
Yes, but I'm very expensive.
Oh, fair enough. I'll keep that in mind. Ronda, thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me.